Alrighty folks, so it is February, which means that it is officially Gardening Eve, and it can actually feel quite a bit like Christmas Eve, starting to get a little bit restless, tossing and turning to start all the seeds for the season ahead. But if we do that too early, it can actually result in some real headaches happening. So today what I want to go through are 3 February gardening tips to help you have an amazing season this coming year. Okay, so before we dive into the first of the 3 February gardening tips, if you have any questions at any point, please do ask those down in the comments section. I start my day by answering every single one of them, so you're gonna get a response from me super quickly down there. Now that first gardening tip for February is starting seeds. And the big question right now is, can I start my seeds? Do I need to wait on starting certain seeds? And it falls into 2 categories. So to determine which seeds that you can start, all that you need to do is go to Google and search your city name and growing zone. So say for myself, Squamish growing zone. And that's going to let you know what growing zone you are in. So for me, 7B. Then you take that growing zone and you look up growing zone 7B or whatever it was for you, planting chart. And that's going to give you these amazing planting charts that are going to tell you exactly what seeds you can be starting, not only in February, but also in March and in April. And so what you then do with that planting chart, and I love to utilize the one from West Coast Seeds, is you simply look up the vegetables that you love to grow and you find out which ones can get started in February indoors under the grow lights. And so for myself, there's 2 of them that I can be starting in February. And those are my Walla Walla onions as well as my jalapeno peppers. So I'm going to be getting those started at some point over the course of February. However, if the planting charts say that there's certain seeds that you should be starting in March or in April, I encourage you to kind of follow those timings. And so take a look at this cucumber from last season as an example. And as we can see, it's putting out tons of flowers. So what's going on in that particular instance? Well, that cucumber, it's basically really stressed out in that little teeny tiny seed cell that it's in. And so it's thinking, shoot, like there's no more room for me to grow. I need to put out some flowers so that we can pass along our genetics and for the cucumber plant to continue to live on into future generations. But because it's doing that, it's essentially jumping to the end of its growing cycle, not putting out any new foliage growth. And so because of that, it's not even going to make it, and it didn't even make it into the garden beds last season. The only place that it went was, unfortunately, into the compost. And so my big encouragement would be to, start the ones in February that are meant to get started in February, and then exercise patience on those that are meant to get started in March and in April. All right, so with us not starting too many other seeds, the second gardening tip for February is to focus on infrastructure projects. And what I mean by that is that at the end of winter, there's usually a little bit of damage from all the winter weather that has rolled through. And this year was no exception for me with all the snow that we got. So as an example, my strawberry kind of cage that I have going around it, that collapsed under the weight of the snow there. And so February, it presents this really great opportunity for you to begin going outside, spending some time in the garden, kind of moving slowly, really focusing on observing what has kind of transpired over the course of the winter, and if there are any infrastructure projects on your end that might need a little bit of a hand. And on top of that, you can begin proactively working on any structures or projects that you have for the garden this upcoming season. So 3 of those that I have kind of on the docket are that I want to set up a grow tent in the front yard so I can start kind of familiarizing myself with a greenhouse type of environment. I want to begin building my barefoot path in the area that I cleared out for our split rail project back in the fall. And the third project that I have on the docket is setting up a bit of a rain catchment barrel and system off of the roof of my house to begin watering a portion of my garden with rainwater that's coming from the roof. So those are 3 projects that I'm going to be working on over the course of February before we get to March, where things really start to kick into gear. All right, so before we get to that 3rd February gardening tip, which is a super quick and easy one, for those of you that I have not met before, I'm Jordan from Mind and Soil, where we're looking to introduce 1 million individuals to mindful gardening. So if you're looking for more peacefulness, more calmness, more restoration in your life, then I really encourage you to subscribe to our channel here, because we put out new videos every single week to be helping you feel more comfortable, more confident, getting your hands dirty, so that you can more readily just experience how amazing gardening feels. So with that being said, let's dive into our 3rd February gardening tip. And and that is to focus on organization. And so as I just alluded to, when we get to March, things really pick up in terms of pace. We're starting a lot of seeds, we're gonna be prepping our soils, the weather is gonna be getting nice, and so we really want to be spending that time gardening. And so February, it provides this great opportunity for kind of one last slowdown in the calmness and the stillness of winter before getting into the season ahead. And so to make sure that you have everything on hand and are fully ready to go, such as what seeds do you already have? What seeds do you need to purchase? What about seedling mix? Have you set up your seed starting station? Those are all questions that I have kind of outlined in a checklist that is down at the link in our description. So if you want to have just kind of a quick checklist on hand to make sure that you've got everything in line, ready to go for when March arrives and it's time to really be getting into a whole bunch of seed starting, then just head to that link down in the description below and it's going to take you to that checklist so you can make sure that you've got everything on hand all set for March. So folks, that's everything for today. I really hope that this has been helpful. Again, if you do have any questions, please do leave those as a question down in the comments. And if you've gotten any value from this, I would love it if you shared it with a friend because that helps us in our goal of reaching 1 million individuals. Otherwise, that's all for right now. I can't wait to catch you on the next one. Go get those hands dirty and I'll see you soon.